As per normal, I've been joined by one of the drivers before we get going tonight. It's my old mate from the comms box, Gary. Good evening, Sniper. Great to have you with me.
Good evening.
So, back in the race seat tonight, Austrian Grand Prix. How are you looking forward to tonight?
Very much looking forward to it. Getting back into the race seat, it feels like home again. But I do miss doing the comms with alongside yourself. But all in all, I am a racer.
Yeah, well, it was good when we were comms together, but yeah, it's great to see you on the grid as well. What's your hopes heading into this track? Not particularly long track, shortest lap times on the calendar. How do you reckon you're going to get on? What's your target for tonight?
Um, I think it's going to be a tough one tonight. Like you say, being such a short track, it's going to be close in terms of lap times. Obviously, you're going to have your Meatball, Adam Fleet, Stefan. They're probably looking at your front runners. I'm hoping to be within the top 10. Um, like I was last week back at Spa, and yeah, just try and nibble away at some points.
Excellent. Well, good luck for tonight, and I hope you have a good race.
Thank you, and have a good stream.
Thank you very much. So, for those of you who joined us last week, the Belgian Grand Prix was won by Meatball last weekend. It was a stunning drive from him from 18th on the grid all the way back up to take the race victory with Stefan and Kyle alongside him as well on the podium. And a crucial race there for Meatball last weekend. He could have lost the World Championship lead, but he ended up managing to extend it because with that grid penalty, he could have very easily ended up losing that championship lead to his teammate or Adam Fleets. But as I said, he extended that lead in the championship. And talking of the World Championship, Meatball leads Adam Fleets now by 15 points in the World Championship, with Goblin just a further 6 back. So just 21 points cover the top 3 in the World Championship as things stand. And if we head to the Constructors' Championship as well, as you'd expect, with both Ferrari drivers leading the way in the drivers, they have a comfortable 123-point lead at the top of the Constructors' Championship, ahead of Alfa Romeo. Haas did jump up a place after last weekend's race, up into third ahead of Alpha Tauri. They're only 22 behind Alfa Romeo, so you never know what might happen yet as we head into these last few races. The drivers are readying up. Now, I will do an onboard lap with somebody as well, so you can see the challenges of this track. As I said, shortest lap time on the calendar. We won't be much over 1 minute lap times in qualifying. Weather dependent, of course. We did see some rain last weekend at Spa. But let's see what is going to happen tonight. Good evening, Jamie. And good evening, CR Matt. Great to have you joining us tonight. I have got the Twitch chat open, so please do come and say hello, get involved. Be great to hear from as many of you as possible. I'll get to as many comments as I can as the evening goes on. So, into qualifying one, for those who don't know, 18 minutes on the clock. Only the top 15 make it into Q2. I think we've got 16 on the grid, if I can count correctly. So we're only going to lose the slowest driver from this session. So let's see what is going to happen here tonight. And as soon as we can as well, we'll go to weather report as well. It is a treacherous racetrack around here when it rains. So I think most of the drivers will be severely hoping for a dry evening's racing. Here we go. And as I say that, it is pouring with rain here in Q1. So it looks... So apparently it's going to be wet all the way through qualifying and it's going to be dry in the race. So, well, this does throw the cat amongst the pigeons. The full wet tyres certainly look like they're going to be having to be used in this Q1. And they do take a little while to warm up as well, those full wets. So we may see some drivers doing multiple laps here to try and get their tyres fully up to temperature. We do have a car leaving the pits. It's Lewis. So as I said, it's a very treacherous racetrack in the wet conditions. I will still do an onboard lap with someone, probably Lewis, so you can see this track. But of course, don't forget, no DRS in these conditions. And look at that, Lewis struggling under braking on the way into turn 3. So it shows you how treacherous the conditions are. Tom Inferno's also now out on track as well in the Mercedes, as is Pyro in the AlphaTauri. We got an Alfa Romeo heading down the pit lane. It could be QRT or it could be Adam Fleets. One of the championship contenders is QRT. And is that a Mercedes round? Yes, Tom Inferno. Well, we saw Lewis nearly spin up there on the way into turn 3. Tom Inferno spun on the way out of turn 3. So it is very treacherous conditions out there at the moment. So Lewis now into the last couple of corners. And let's do the onboard lap with him now as he heads down the... Oh, as I say that, he needs to go straight into the pit wall. But this is the pit straight. Normally a DRS zone here. And then climbing uphill in the dry. It's amazing how late you can brake. Don't hit the curb too hard on the inside or the exit. They're raised curves there. Look at that, struggling to grip. This is another DRS zone in the dry. This little kink has been renamed as turn 2. Then heading up towards turn 3 and the highest part of the course, just 35 miles an hour in these conditions. And there over the crest, the highest part of the course now. And this will be the third and final DRS zone in the dry conditions. Then a difficult braking zone downhill to turn 4, the Gerster curve. Let the car wander to the outside, then bring it back in tight again, very, very fast. 2 left-handers are coming up here. This is the Niki Lauda curve, 90 miles an hour. Don't run too wide on the exit. The Gerhard Berger curve follows. Then flat out through this right. Heading up to the second to last corner, 115 miles an hour even in these conditions. The Jochen Rindt curve, the final corner, back onto the pit straight. It is a short lap, but full wet conditions. It's a 1:16.8 from Lewis. And Tom Inferno's come back into the pits. So I don't know if he clipped the wall. I don't think he did. So we saw QRT also on a lap. Davis is out there on a lap as well. As Pyro goes fastest on a 16.6. But as I said, don't be surprised if you see drivers doing more than one lap. We've seen them already really struggling with grip. It could be tyre temperatures. It doesn't look like an awful lot of standing water out there. Certainly on the racing line there isn't. So it could just be tyre temperatures. So we may see more than one lap from some of these drivers. Here comes QRT. Coming out of the last corner now. And he goes third fastest on a 1:21.0. Davis is about to cross the line. There he is in the Mercedes. And he goes third fastest, 19.2. And look at that, the second AlphaTauri of D10 has just gone quickest of all on a 15.3, a lot quicker than anyone else. Sniper's gone 6th in the Red Bull. Let's have a quick look. Where's Lewis? Is he going? He is. He stayed out. He's going to try again. And he's found 0.8 of a second in the first sector alone. Pyro's now gone quickest on a 15.2. Their lap times are getting quicker. I don't know if anyone will risk a set of intermediates here before the end of this session. As I said, we're only going to lose one car from this session. Top 15 make it into Q2. So let's see what Lewis is doing now. And he's 1.4 seconds up. Zonic in the pit lane, from what I can see, has put on a set of intermediates. So maybe he is going to go for it. But Lewis here should be certainly at least getting close to the top two. And he goes fastest of all at 15.1. I'm hearing Botond is on a good lap. QRT's on a good lap. But he's backed out of it. So Tom Inferno now just starting his lap. So is, and look at that, Tom Inferno off. And again, that's turn 3. Really struggling for grip through there. Mr. Blobby is on a lap there in the Aston Martin as well. Still waiting for Zonic, Ryan, Adam Fleets, Goblin, Stefan, Meatball and Jansen to leave the pit lane. As I say, that Stefan does. Mr. Blobby's invalidated this lap. The rain is looking lighter. We just saw a shot there of the pit lane. It's not as heavy as it was at the start of qualifying, but surely it's still full wet conditions at the moment. So Tom Inferno looking like he's got a little bit more grip now as he heads towards the line. But we saw him really struggling, and he goes 4th fastest on a 17.9. What about CR Mac? And D10 has been disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane. Oh, he's lost his front wing from what I can see. But no, he's been disqualified, as has Lewis. So we've lost 2 drivers from this session. CR Mac, by the way, has gone 2nd fastest on a 17.2. Sniper's improved as well, but he was improving again, but he's gone off the track. So we've lost 2 cars. I don't know if they'll be able to take part in Q2. I don't think they will. So Mr. Blobby going again. The track is definitely improving. Stefan now out on his flying lap. Ryan's just left the pit lane. It looks like QRT might be trying to get a set of intermediates. Let's see if he leaves the pit lane. But Stefan on a flyer as well. Here comes Mr. Blobby now across the line. And he goes 3rd on a 17.5. So definitely the lap times are improving. Let's see what Stefan can do. Apparently the rain is going to be stopping in 10 minutes time. There's just under 10 minutes to go in this session. So we may see intermediates yet before the end of Q1. Certainly someone might attempt it. Still waiting for Zonic and Adam Fleets and Goblin, Meatball and Jansen to leave the pit lane. So they can see these lap times are improving. They're deciding to just stay in for a while. And QRT is out on a set of intermediates. So I'll find him in a second and see how he's getting on. As Stefan now goes 2nd on a 15.4. So let's find QRT, see how he's getting on. He's riding on board with the Alfa Romeo. And it doesn't look too bad there, does it? I mean, he doesn't have his battery deployed, but couldn't hear that much wheel spin on the way out of that corner. So maybe a few others might try it. I think a couple have put intermediates on in the pit lane. Ryan now on a lap in the Alpine. Oh, and he's gone very wide as well out of turn 3. That seems to be where they're struggling the most. We've seen Lewis and Tom Inferno and Sniper all going off on that part of the racetrack. Tom Inferno a couple of times has gone off there, but let's see what Ryan can do now. And I will cut back to QRT in a minute on those intermediates to see what his first sector is like. Let's have a look. Is he improving? Yes, he is indeed. Nearly 3 seconds up on his previous best and fastest of all in the first sector. Ryan has invalidated this lap, so he's not going to improve. And Davis is another car off there at turn 3. So it's Pyro from Stefan. Tom Inferno is currently in 3rd position. CR Mac has retired from the session. He's crashed out. So it's still treacherous out there. But Tom Inferno is improving. Here he comes in the Mercedes. As he heads down to the last corner. He's third fastest at the moment. Let's have a look. He remains third, but takes 6.5 tenths off his previous best. Let's cut back to QRT. I was just going to say, see what he's doing. He's done a 13.6, miles faster than anyone else. They're all going to want to get out there now on intermediates to try and get a lap time in. But of course, don't forget, with 2 disqualified and 1 crashed out, they're all going to make it through anyway. So it doesn't matter too much. Good evening, Tinks. Good to have you watching as well. Here comes Ryan now, out of the last corner. Does a 14.8. He goes second. So Jansen now on the intermediate tyres. He is just starting his first flying lap. So is Goblin in the Ferrari. Adam Fleets as well. Zonic is now on his outlap. We're just waiting for Meatball to leave the pit lane. At the moment, he's staying put. So as QRT improves again by a big margin, does a 1 minute 12.0. So here comes Jansen, and you can see the rain has visibly lightened, and he's invalidated this lap here as Jansen. Still got time though, 5.5 minutes to go. Here comes Goblin. He is absolutely flying through the middle sector. So is Adam Fleet. If anything, Adam Fleet is going even faster. So Goblin there. Look, maybe just held up a little bit by Zonic on his outlap, but Goblin goes across the line to go second fastest, a 1:12.3. What about Adam Fleet? A 12.5. Conditions are definitely improving. Jansen's on another good lap so far. And Zonic now starts, still waiting for Meatball. Maybe Meatball is deciding to just sit out this first part of qualifying. Pyro's back out on track now as well. He was fastest of all on the wet tyres, but he's now dropped to 6th place. Now that everyone's improving on the intermediates, he's out on intermediate tyres as well. Oh, that's Jansen crashed. That is Jansen out. That is down there at turn 8. So we've got another car out of the session. So it's still treacherous out there. And Jamie showing his support for Adam Fleets. So here comes Sonic now across the line. At 1:12.3, he goes third fastest. And Goblin stayed out, and he's going to try again. Here comes Stefan across the line, a 1:11.5. The lap times are plummeting here. Pyro coming through to complete his lap. I'm good, thank you, Jamie. I hope you are as well, mate. So here comes Pyro now across the line. He now goes fastest of all on a 1:11.3. And Goblin did a lap saving battery. And he's pushing on again. Tom Inferno on another lap as well. Still no sign that Meatball is now leaving the pit. So he's leaving it right to the end. Before he goes again. Stefan looks like he's just building up some battery. So here comes Goblin now across the line. He moves up to third. 5 thousandths of a second slower than Stefan. Tom Inferno improving by a couple of seconds so far on this lap. Sniper's retired from the session. He doesn't need to do any more. No one does really, but maybe a little bit of pride for some of these drivers. Tommy Furno moves up to 5th. So, and QRT is being, well, this is very brave. He's going out on a set of soft tyres. Surely it's a bit early for slicks, but he's going to give it a go. So everyone's improving at the moment. Zonic's gone a little bit quicker in the first sector. Goblin looks like he's on another battery building lap. Stefan's improving as well. Pyro's just starting another lap. So Stefan here at the moment looks like he's going to take the quickest time in this Q1 and could just get into the 1 minute 10s. He does indeed, a 1:10.8. So Adam Fleet's now across the line. He jumps up to 2nd, also gets into the 1 minute 10s as well. And Pyro's improving as well. Ryan's gone up to 5th and Tommy Furno up to 6th. Goblin's found a little bit in the first sector as well. What about Meatball? Here he is, left it right. To the end he's left this. We've got just over 30 seconds to go. World Championship leader, don't forget here, Meatball. Pyro does a 1:10.5. Meatball now does a 1 minute 9.9. Left it right to the end. Only did one lap, but what a lap he's done on those tyres. Davis is improving as well. And let's have a look. Will some of these drivers get round again? Goblin moves up to 4th. I think Adam Fleets might just. I think Zonic might just as well. So let's see how QRT's doing. He has found a fraction, you know, in the first sector. Zonic didn't quite make it to the line. So QRT, all wide there at the cursor curve. That will have cost him time, but he's finding grip somehow on those slick tyres. Only a fraction down despite that off at the cursor curve. So can he improve? So let's have a look. Oh, he's invalidated right at the end. So, well, he was going to improve. Not by much, but he was going to improve. And that is it. Well, changeable conditions. Very hard. We saw 2 drivers crash out there with Jansen and CR Mac. Lewis disqualified from the session. And D10. So, but there you see confirmation. Meatball left it right to the end. But put in a good lap. Pyro 2nd, Stefan 3rd, then Goblin, Adam Fleets, Zonic, Ryan, Tommy Furno 8th, Davis 9th, QRT 10th. Look out for him though. He looks like he's got some pace. Sniper 11th and Mr. Blobby 12th. I don't know if the drivers that were disqualified will be allowed into Q2. All the ones who crashed out will have to wait and see. But into Q2, we lose 3 minutes off the time here for Q2, down to 15 minutes. And only the top 10 make it into the pole position shootout. So we lose the slowest 5, potentially. But, of course, it does depend on who is going to be allowed. And you've got to say, it's looking dry out there at the moment. So I think we may be seeing everyone going out on a set of soft tyres. I think the wet conditions have finished. So, and we do only have 12 drivers in this session, so we're only going to lose the slowest 2. I'm very good, thank you, Tinks. I hope you are as well. Great to have you watching tonight. And yes, see, I'm back. I'm afraid you are out of this session. So, but you are going to be down there with some very quick drivers. So it could be, as we saw last weekend, a very interesting race. Seeing drivers coming through. So we've got no Lewis, no Jansen, no D10, and no CR Max. They are all out of the session. QRT is the first car out there. And I'll tell you what, because we were only at half speed before, I'll do another onboard lap. You can see this track to its full effect with the DRS, as opposed to the horrible conditions I tried to do one on before. So Sniper has taken track position. So I know he loves it when I do it on board with him. So let's do it with Sniper. So a lot of drivers heading out. Of course, the track will be very green at the moment. All the rubber would have been washed off it. So it might not be a lot of grip out there for a while. But here we go. DRS should be activated, and it is indeed. So let's have a look. Onboard lap at full speed around the Red Bull ring. DRS zone here, down the pit straight. Quite a short pit straight, but still with the DRS over 200 miles an hour. Brake is 80 there. Turn 1, 85 miles an hour. Don't run too wide on the exit. Second DRS zone. Heading up the hill. This little kink is counted as turn 2. Just over 200 miles an hour hard on the brake. 75 metres before the corner. Just 40 miles an hour. Slowest corner on the circuit. Third DRS zone here. Highest part of the course, heading down towards the Gerster curve. Difficult downhill braking zone. Just over 100 metres before the corner. 70 miles an hour on the apex. Early on the throttle, let it wander to the outside, but then immediately bring it back to the right. But look at this, Niki Lauda curve down to 125 miles an hour. Don't run too wide on the exit. You got another fast left-hander immediately coming up the Gerhard Berger curve, 130 miles an hour again. Oh, and he has gone wide. And he has invalidated the lap, unfortunately. Let's finish the lap with Tom Inferno then. Down to the penultimate corner. 150 miles an hour. That'll be at full speed. Last corner. Again, don't run too wide on the exit. DRS zone enabled. And across the line. And Ryan has gone fastest on a 1 minute 5.6. Tinks cheering on Goblin, who's still in the pit lane at the moment. So let's see what Stefan does as he goes across the line. QRT a 1 minute 4.6. Stefan a 1:41. They are definitely going a lot quicker than they were before. And Zonic is coming into the pits. As Mr. Blobby goes third. Tom Inferno on a lap now. Here goes Pyro. Medium tyres, just doing a warm-up lap from what I would think they're 137. Here comes Davis out of the last corner. And Davis goes fifth, a 1 minute 6.4. Tom Inferno into the last couple of corners. We've got 11 minutes to go in this session. And Tom Inferno goes second, a 1 minute 4.3, not far behind Stefan. So let's see what Pyro can do on those medium tyres. As I said, we're only going to lose the slowest 2, so he might just be able to save a set of soft tyres for the race here, Pyro. Very good middle sector though, despite being on those medium compound tyres. Let's see what he can do. Adam Fleet's and Meatbell, two of the championship rivals. Are out on track now, and Pyro goes for, that's a good lap on the medium tyres. And I've got to say, Zonic, that has to be one of the most incredible descriptions of anything I've ever read in my life. So if you're on the Twitch chat, go and have a look, because that is brilliant. So, Adam Fleet's now on a lap It's Stefan fastest at the moment from Tom Inferno, with QRT in third. They're the only drivers in the 1 minute 4. Stefan close to the 1 minute 3s as well. Pyro is fourth. Then we've got Mr. Blobby fifth, Ryan in sixth, and Davis is seventh. They're the only drivers who've set a lap time so far. Here comes Adam Fleets now into the last couple of corners. Second in the World Championship here is Adam. And he goes across the line, and he goes fourth, just behind his teammate, also into the 1 minute 4s. Meatball just starting his lap. Good first sector from him. So let's see what Meatball can do. Can he get himself up there? Qualifying ban, don't forget, last weekend, but still came through to win the race. Extend his championship lead once again, which will be nibbled away in the last few rounds by Goblin and Adam Fleets. He will be hoping to really firmly stamp his authority on this World Championship once again. Here comes Meatball now across into the last couple of corners. And Meatball does a 1 minute 3.8, fastest by 0.3 of a second. Tommy Inferno's retired from the session. He feels he's done enough. Well, it might be a brave decision, because I think the lap times are only going to improve. Sniper goes 8th. A 1.55. So Davis is now the driver at risk. He's back out on track. Zonic and Goblin both on lap times. As it stands, they're not making it through, but surely, certainly for Goblin, this will be enough. He goes fourth, just behind his old sparring partner, Tom Inferno. Old rivals, those two. Zonic goes ninth. So now Sniper is the driver at risk. He's on a lap, but he's backed out of it. So I think he must have made a mistake somewhere. So Davis is now going to try and get back into the top 10. QRT's on another lap. Here he is, fifth fastest at the moment. The top three have all retired from the session. They feel they've done enough. Can QRT secure his place in the top 10 shootout? He's a couple of tenths up on his previous best. That would be enough as it stands to move him up one place at least. They're all coming back out on track now with 6.5 minutes to go. QRT goes up to third in the end. A fraction quicker than Tom Inferno. So Mr. Blobby's improving. Zonic's into the pits. What about Ryan? He's found a bit in the first sector. Davis has completely backed out of this lap. Has he got enough fuel to go again? Let's see. Mr. Blobby, 8th at the moment. He's 0.4 of a second up. That would put him around Adam Fleet's kind of area. So maybe just inside the top 6 here, potentially, for Mr. Blobby. As the sun now is shining out here at the Red Bull Ring. Mr. Blobby does indeed go 6th fastest. What about Ryan? And, well, he improves, but only by 0.005 of a second. And he remains 11th and knocked out of the session as things stand. So, Davis now found a 10th in the first sector. He has got to find quite a bit to get himself through. But the track conditions are going to be improving all the time. He's half a second up. So this might just put him in the ballpark here. Zonic heading back out on the racetrack now. And Davis is invalidated again. And that's a shame. He would be right on the tail of Ryan. So let's see. Is Ryan going to come into the pits? Does he have the fuel to go again? No, he's coming into the pit. So Zonic now is on an out lap. Pyro, it looks like he's on an in lap. And Davis, I think, will be heading back into the pit lane, I would have thought. So Zonic, 9th at the moment, but only a couple of tenths in front of Ryan in 11th. And we saw Davis is there or thereabouts as well. So don't rule anyone out of getting into Q3 here. Goblin back out on track. He doesn't feel safe in 6th position. It is very close though between 9th, 10th and 11th. And Davis has shown he's there or thereabouts on the pace. Just had his lap invalidated. So let's see what Zonic can do. Heading down towards turn 4, the Gersa curve. Such difficult braking zone downhill. Bring it over to the right hand side. Let's see how that McLaren's handling. Little bit of understeer on the way in there. And again in the second fast left-hander. So maybe the front end not quite where he wants it to be, but let's see if he can continue or if he can strengthen his position. Well, he's got a lot quicker, but remains 9th. He's found nearly 0.6 of a second. Sniper and Ryan both out on racetrack as we speak. Goblin a fraction down on his previous best in the first sector. He is currently 6th. His teammate is exactly 7 tenths quicker than him at the moment. So Meatball's really got it hooked up round here this evening. So Goblin's middle sector time. He's about half a tenth up on what he was doing before. That would at least move him up 1 place. Davis is back out on track. Ryan has just started a lap. We've got just over 2 minutes to go. And Goblin does go 5th. A fraction quicker than Pyro. Now, Ryan, as I said, he's on a lap. He's found 3/4 of a tenth in the first sector. It is going to come down to fractions like that. It really is. It's so close between 10th, 11th and 12th. So let's have a look now. Ryan, middle sector. He's still a fraction up. He needs to find a tiny bit more to get himself into the top 10 and knock Sniper out. And don't rule Davis out of this either. Ryan goes across the line and he just does it. He finds quite a bit in the last sector. But Sniper's also improving by quite a bit. And Ryan goes back into 10th place. How close do you want it? Sniper has knocked Ryan back out again. Adam Fleets is back out on the racetrack as well. He is currently 8th fastest. Pyro starting another lap on the same set of tyres. Let's see what Davis can do. He's found a 10th and a half in the first sector. Zonic's retired from the session. We've got 35 seconds to go of this session. Well, I don't think Sniper will, but Ryan is pushing. He might just get around again, you know, and start another lap if he's got the fuel. He doesn't have a lot of battery left though, does he? So, Davis, middle sector. He's 0.6 of a second up. Adam Fleets is just starting his lap. What about Pyro? He's found a fraction as well. This might just put him back into 5th ahead of Goblin once again. So here comes Davis now across the line. And he does a 1 minute 5.5. He's going to be starting 12th on the grid. Sniper has just made it through. Just. Pyro failed to improve, so it's just Adam Fleets now. So it's Meatbell, Stefan, QRT, Tom Inferno, Goblin, Pyro, Mr. Blobby, Adam Fleets, Zonic, and Sniper. They're the cars that are making it through. But this is looking like a good lap here from Adam Fleets, fastest of all in the middle sector. Let's have a look, because this could be a very good lap time to end the session on. And he does jump up. I think he went up 5th in the end, 3rd in the end. Great lap there. And Zonic is saying his first Q3 of the season, so well done to him. But there you see confirmation. Meatball does, you have to say, look like he's in a bit of a class of 1 at the moment. Fastest by 0.3 of a second. And then it's very close. Just 3.5 tenths covering second. Sorry, 4.5 tenths covering second all the way down to 8th. It's very, very close. Zonic not that far behind either. And Sniper just making it into the top 10. Ryan and Davis are the 2 cars we've lost. So into Q3. And Jamie, I've got to say, the extremes of your support and your criticism of drivers is fantastic. So anyway, and Jack is also cheering on Fleets. No, Jamie, don't apologise, mate. It's brilliant. It's just 2 complete and utter contrasts. So, Q3, we lose another 3 minutes off the time. There is just 12 minutes in this session, but with such a short lap time, it is easily possible to do 3 runs here. They all get given an extra a set of soft tyres as well. And of course, don't forget, with the very wet Q1, they will all have an extra set anyway. So those 3 runs, they may all be on soft, brand new soft tyres. Sniper, once again, the first car to venture out on the racetrack. And immediately onto the grass there, Sniper. Wakey, wakey, Gary. But Pyro, Zonic, Tom Inferno also all heading out. So is Stefan, Adam Fleets, Goblin, Mr. Blobby, Meatball, and QRT all choosing to stay in the pits. It's quite interesting, isn't it? The 3 championship rivals, I've noticed it the last couple of races, they are tending now to just wait in the pit lane, especially in Q3, for the other drivers to go out and get times on the board, give themselves a bit of space on track. And Tiggs, I think that is a question that has never been asked ever before in the history of humanity. So anyway, Sniper about to start his... Thank you, Jamie. Oh, I've missed you, Jamie. I have missed you so much. Right, Sniper starts his first flying lap bit in Q3. Just made it through at Ryan's expense at the end of Q2. Gets past the Alfa Romeo of QRT, who's on his outlap. Tom Inferno and Pyro have also started their laps. Everyone is now out on track apart from Meatball. And, well, we saw Meatball before, didn't we? In both Q1 and Q2. Just leave it quite late and do 1 run and set a blisteringly quick lap time. He obviously is feeling confident he can do it again here in Q3. 9.5 minutes to go. So let's see what Sniper can do. And Jamie, it's called getting involved with the audience, all right? Don't you try and tell me what to do. Love you, Jamie. Right, Sniper goes across the line now, out of the last corner. And he does a 1 minute 4.9 provisional fastest. Pyro's going to be the next car across the line. And he does a 1 minute 4.2. Don't forget, we saw times in the 1 minute 3s. Tom Inferno did invalidate that lap, so that lap's not going to count. Mr. Blobby's on an out lap. So Stefan, I think, Zonic will be the next one through to set the lap time. As Zonic goes second fastest on a 1 minute 4.7. Telfie! Wow, there's a blast from the past. Great to hear from you. As Stefan goes fastest of all, a 1 minute 4.0. Meatball is now heading out onto the racetrack. Yes, Telfie, I'm very, very good, mate. Great to hear from you. I hope you're doing very well. Okay, you're doing okay as well. Goblin goes across the line. He goes third fastest on a 1 minute 4.3. Tom Inferno on another lap. Adam Fleet is on his first flying lap. So is Mr. Blobby. And so is QRT. Mr. Blobby now. Rain apparently coming in 10 minutes. As Tom Inferno goes fourth fastest, a fraction slower than Goblin. Mr. Blobby goes seventh. Oh, QRT has invalidated the last corner. That was unlucky because we've seen how quick he is. And good evening, Deco Primus. Great to have you watching as well. Here comes Adam Fleets out across the line. And he goes fifth. Look how close it is between third and fifth. And two of them are the championship contenders. Goblin and Adam Fleets. So QRT also had this lap invalidated as well because it was on the last corner of the last lap. So this lap isn't going to count for anything anyway. Meatball's done a very slow out lap, taking nothing out of his tyres. So let's see what he can do. Can he do what he's done in the first two parts of qualifying and just go out there immediately and put it on pole position? No one's beaten his lap time from Q2, which is a 1 minute 3.8. So can he get into the 1 minute 3s once again? Fastest of all in the first sector. Fastest of all in the middle sector. Well, this is looking very, very good indeed here for Meatball. As he comes out of the last corner. Can he do it once again? He goes across the line. He does a 1 minute 4.0. Not quite as quick as he was before. That might just give some of the others hope that he is possibly beatable here this evening. But at the moment, Meatball has taken provisional pole. And Zonic, yes. I'm not quite sure how to answer that. Anyway, Pyro's out again for his second run. So is Tom Inferno and so is Zonic. So we have 5 minutes to go. So still, you would think, enough time for a couple of runs if they're quick. So, but Meatball heading back to the pits. He might do one more run, you would have thought. He's just finishing his first. So Pyro about to start his second flying lap here in Q3. So is Tom Inferno and Zonic. They're the only three cars on the track. But it is very, very close. Just 3.5 tenths covering the top 6. This is what we like to see. So, Pyro now completed the first sector. So has Tom Inferno. Heading down towards the Gersa curve. Zonic's backed off a little bit, giving himself even more track space. So let's see if Pyro's improving in the middle sector as he heads down. He's a fraction up. What about Tom Inferno? He was a 10th up in the first sector. He's a 10th and a half up in the middle sector. Can Tom Inferno? This could put him towards the top 3. And Pyro's coming to the pits. So he's backed out of this lap. He will have enough time to do one more. But what about Tom Inferno? He goes across the line and he takes provisional pole. He's also gone into the 1 minute 3s. Well, what a comeback story this would be if he could pull this out the bag here, Tom Inferno. Zonic here doing one slow lap by the looks of it. And fully building up tyre temperature. So Zonic now, he's going to start again. Mr. Blobby is out on track. On his outlap, but here at the moment is your provisional pole sitter, Tom Inferno. Well, hasn't raced for a while, and what a comeback this would be if he can stay there. Meatball back out on the track once again. But Zonic on his lap. Mr. Blobby is just going through the last sector. Meatball out there, 2.5 minutes to go. I expect to see quite a few drivers now starting to leave the pits. I mean, round here you can really leave it till about 90 seconds to go before having to leave the pit lane. But here comes Zonic now, heading down towards the last couple of corners. And he goes across the line, and Zonic does improve, but remains in 7th place. So Mr. Blobby is on a lap. He's found a 10th and a half in the first sector. Middle sector, he's found a 1/4 of a second. This might just put him in front of Sniper. Meatball's on another lap now as well. He's just started. But no, he's not. He's doing a slow lap here. So here comes Mr. Blobby now out of the last corner. And he moves up to 8th on a 1:47. And Zonic is doing another slow lap. And he's going to try and leave it right to the end. Everyone else is out on the racetrack now. So let's have a look. Who's going to be the first one to start their final run? It is QRT in the Alfa Romeo. So let's see what he can do. A very good first sector indeed. Can he get himself into the 1 minute 3s and start to get himself up there with the leaders? Meatball, I think, has finished his slow outlap. And he's going to go for it one more time. Tom Inferno, a fraction down on his previous best in the first sector. Stefan is improving. The clouds are coming over. So the track is going to get quicker as it cools down. Sniper's just started his lap. Here comes QRT coming out of the last corner. What is this lap time going to be? QRT takes provisional pole, the fastest lap so far this evening on a 1 minute 3.7. Meatball's a fraction down on his previous best. Goblin goes across the line. He goes 5th. Pyro fails to improve. He remains in 6th position. He invalidated his lap. And that's Tom Inferno off in the last corner. And Tom Inferno's out. Stefan takes provisional pole. By a fraction of a second, can Meatball respond? Yes, he can. What a lap he's got right at the end. Meatball's taken pole. But how close was that at the end of qualifying? Adam Fleets goes fourth. And Snipers abandoned the lap. Wow. What an end to qualifying. And it was a lot closer than it looked like it was going to be certainly after Q2. But Meatball, right at the end, pulls a lap out of the bag to take pole position. Adam Fleets, his nearest championship rival, down in fourth. Stefan and QRT between them. Tom Inferno, fifth. He crashed on the line. He looked like he was improving by a little bit, but crashed it out of the last corner. Goblin, I think, will be a little bit disappointed with sixth. Then Pyro 7th, Zonic in 8th, Sniper 9th, and Mr. Blobby in 10th position. Wow, what an end to that qualifying session we had. Let's hear from Meatball once again. So close at the end, just about got a bit of a gap. So hopefully Meatball will come and join us. Doesn't look like he is, so that's unfortunate. But we have a few minutes gap now between now and the start of the race. On the screen, you can just see the results from last season and also the current championship standings. We've got a few minutes gap now between now and the start of the race. Stay tuned. 36 laps of the Austrian Grand Prix is on its way. And with how close qualifying was, anything can happen. Stay tuned. So here we go. They're getting ready for the formation lap. Good evening, Greg, by the way. Great to have you watching as normal. It's been a while since I chatted to you. But here we go. Here's the grid with the tyres that everyone is starting on. Meatball on pole position. Starting on the hard tyres. Stefan alongside him in the Haas. He starts on the mediums. He could be one to watch off the start line. Row 2, QRT and Adam Fleets, the two Alfa Romeos, both line up on the hards. Row 3, Tom Inferno on his comeback in the Mercedes, lines up in 5th, starting on the hard tyres. And 6th, Goblin in the Ferrari. He lines up on the mediums. Row 4, Pyro in the Alpha Tauri and Zonic in the McLaren. Pyro's on the medium, Zonic's on the hard compound tyres. Row 5, Sniper and Mr. Blobby both line up on the mediums. Row 6, there he is, Ryan in the Alpine and Davis in the second Mercedes, also both on the mediums. Row 7, Lewis in the Williams and CR Mack in the second of the two Red Bulls. They both line up on the hard tyres. And the back of the grid, Jansen in the Haas lines up on the mediums. And D10 lines up on the hard tyres. A 36 lap race. You saw from the graphic a few seconds ago, it's going to be a 1 or a 2 stop race. And the soft tyres don't look like good race tyres. It could be hards and mediums all the way. But don't rule out the chances of a safety car around here. We saw 3 last weekend. I apologise in advance if this is the camera angle for the start. I have 0 control on it, and it looks like it is going to be my camera angle for the start. So I sincerely apologise. That's all I can do. I can't control this. Piercy, great to have you watching as well, mate. So here we go. We're waiting for the start. I'm going to do it on board with Stefan because that is the worst camera. That is the worst camera angle yet for the start of the race on this game. Here we go. The 5 lights are on and it's lights out and away we go. It is a great start from Stefan. Look at that right alongside Meatball already. And look at that, Adam Fleets up the inside but backs out of it. Stefan takes the lead. Meatball into second place. Adam Fleets, well, he could have had that, but he backs out of it, perhaps wisely. Stefan takes the lead. I said look out for him at the start. Goblin's moved up a place as well, up into 5th. He's got past Tom Inferno. And Jansen and Lewis fighting down in the back. They all look like they've made it through safely. D10's had a good start from the back of the grid. As well up to 13th place. Davis and Ryan fighting. And Goblin now going past QRT. So, I don't know if there was a mistake there by QRT because now he's going under pressure from Tom Inferno. Tom Inferno around the outside of QRT. There's contact. QRT nearly loses it. Wow, that was brilliant. Car control, and there is a spin at the back. That's QRT and Pyro have made contact. And Davis has fallen back down there as well. I don't know if he got involved. I looked away for a second and it all happened, but Stefan leads at the end of lap 1 and QRT is in the pit lane. Does he have damage? Davis looks like he does. He's into the pits as well, but Stefan leads from Meatball and already the top 4 are pulling away and a new front wing for QRT. But look at this, the top 4, Tom Inferno trying to go with them in 5th place. As Pyro gets past Sniper and up into 13th, but they're a long way back already. But look at this top 4, it's already looking like these 4 are going to be nose to tail for a while. And yes, Greg, it's great to see you tuning in, mate. Great to hear from you as well. But at end of lap 2, the DRS will be enabled at the end of this lap. And Stefan continues to lead, but Meatball takes the fastest lap of the race. And he is dragging Adam Fleets and Goblin along with him. Tom Inferno can't keep in touch at the moment. He is now nearly 2 seconds behind this battle. And there is a yellow flag. That's a sniper round. And he's lucky to still be in the race. A virtual safety car. He's lost his front wing and he's going to have to do a whole lap with no front wing there. So sniper spins. So neutralisation of the race here. Just as we were getting into DRS. But it's Stefan from Meatball, Adam Fleets and Goblin. That's the top four. Tom Inferno is fifth. Then we've got Sonic with Mr. Blobby right behind him. That's the fight for sixth. D10 is in there as well. Don't forget, he started at the back after an incident with Lewis in qualifying. Lewis as well has done well to come through. Also, he is into ninth place. CR Mack as well, if you remember, crashed out in qualifying. He's up to 10th and the last of the point-paying positions. But we're back racing once again. The DRS will be enabled once again. And the top four are nose to tail. There is 2 seconds between them and fourth place man, Tom Inferno. Now, does any one of these three have enough straight line speed to challenge Stefan out front? Mr. Blobby's got past Sonic. So Mr. Blobby is through and up into 6th position. Just ahead of D10 in 8th. Sniper's into the pits. We saw him with no front wing. He will, I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's already dropped behind QRT. Will he drop behind Davis as well? It's going to be pretty close. But meanwhile, back up at the front. This is the front wing of Stefan, the race leader. And these two, they're still all within DRS, but they're just getting a little bit of a gap to Adam Fleets and Goblin behind. There you can see it. Can Meatball now find a way through as D10 has got past on it? And Meatball will be getting closer. Don't forget, 3 DRS zones, one after the other. We've got time penalties galore at the moment. And here comes Meatball with the DRS open. On the run up. Now Stefan's going to get it. On the run down to the Gerser curve. So if Stefan can have a good exit here, he might be able to come straight back at the Ferrari. But Meatball's had a very good exit indeed out of turn 3. We're on board with the Haas. Will Stefan have a look? Not quite close enough. Meatball at the moment has got that position. And Adam Fleets and Goblin keeping a watching brief in 3rd and 4th place. Tom Inferno does not have the pace at the moment of the top 4. He is 3.5 seconds nearly behind this battle. Oh, wobble there from Stefan on the way out of turn 6. Sorry, turn 7. But can 7 come back at Meatball once again? This is a fantastic fight up the front. There are some battles going on further back, and D10 with the fastest lap of the race in 6th position as he starts to close up on Tom Inferno. And here comes Stefan once again. He's going to have a look up the inside of turn 3. He's thought better of it. Is he just trying to position his car for the last DRS zone? But once again, Meatball has got a great exit out of turn 3, and Stefan just cannot get close enough. Meanwhile, there is Tom Inferno. He's 5th and beginning to come under pressure from D10, who's dragging Mr. Blobby with him, it has to be said. And not that far behind that is Zonic and Lewis, as Ryan's got past CR Matt. So Ryan up into the top 10. The other close battle out there is Jansen in 12th place. Has Pyro right behind him in the Alpha Tauri. But back up at the front, these 4, what a drive so far. No mistakes, and they are pushing each other hard. We've seen wheel-to-wheel racing now. Will Stefan go for it this time? He's seen the traction that Meatball's got out of turn 3, and he is indeed. And Stefan retakes the lead, and Goblin has gone past Adam Fleet. Goblin's had a good run as well. Now can Meatball come back at the Haas? That Ferrari really looks like he's got good straight line speed. He waltzed past him there with a DRS. So that looked very easy as QRT now sets fastest lap of the race, down in 14th position. We're on lap 7 of this race already, but Goblin got past Adam Fleets there and up into 3rd. D10 is now all over the back of Tom Inferno. They are 5 seconds behind this battle, and CR Max round. That's turn 6. And he spun round with a load of penalties happening. It's so easy round here, especially in the penultimate corner. But back to the front, and look at Adam Fleets. Adam Fleets is trying to line up Goblin here into turn 3. And Stefan very close indeed to the back. And Tom Inferno and D10 fighting, but still Meatball gets a good run. And D10 there with has got the move. He's got DRS as well. And D10 for the back of the grid, don't forget. He's up into 5th place. What a race so far from D10. And Lewis has got past Zonic. So Lewis up into 8th. Zonic drops down a place tonight. And look how close Adam Fleets is to the back of Goblin. Thought better of it into the last corner. These 4 are racing each other hard, but they are nearly, well, they're pushing 6 seconds clear of anyone else after just 8 laps. There you can see in the distance, D10. Can he start to close up on these top 4? And here comes Stefan once again, and he's going to make it stick this time. And don't forget, 2nd, 3rd and 4th are the main championship rivals. So it adds another dimension to this. And here comes Meepo, and he's done it again. He's just got so much more straight line speed and traction out of turn 3. And there is nothing Stefan can do, whether he's got DRS or whether he's in front of him. But they're still pulling away from D10. He's not dropping back as much as he was. And don't forget as well, something else to consider in this. Stefan and Goblin of the top 4 are on the mediums. They're going to have to stop earlier than Meatball and Fleets, who are both on the hard tyres. They start lap 10 of this race. And we've got and Zonic's out. Zonic's out of the race. Will that be a safety car? He's lost it in the second to last corner. There you can see him in the wall. Will that be a safety car? No, it's not. They've cleared it away. Wow, I'm amazed that wasn't a safety car. I really am. But Stefan, meanwhile, has got back past the leader. But here comes Meatball once again. This is going to get so frustrating for Stefan. And look at this, though. He's ducked back underneath him. He's going to be wheel to wheel, but Meatball still got the inside line. Into turn 6 and still maintains the lead. And they are still pulling away by about 3/4 of a second a lap from D10 in 5th place. And again, look how close Adam Fleece is. Adam Fleece up the inside. And we saw how close he was there on the last lap, and this time he makes it stick into the penultimate corner. He's back into 3rd position. Pyro and Jansen fighting over the last point at the moment as well in 10th position. Tom Inferno hanging on to the back of D10, and Lewis is all over the back of Mr. Blobby. There you can see it. Mr. Blobby in 7th place. But once again, Stefan has taken the lead. But can he get the traction? Adam Fleece is getting interested in the top 2 now. Adam Fleece and Goblin really have taken a back seat so far while the top 2 have swapped positions. And Mr. Blobby and Lewis fighting. Lewis did make it stick up the inside, but Mr. Blobby got DRS and has gone back through. And Tom Inferno closing right back up once again on D10. That is the fight for 5th place. Jansen and Pyro also fighting hard. And Pyro's made it stick. So Pyro takes the last point. But look how close it is, almost contact. And Jansen backs out of it. But here we go once again. Round 12 of this battle here at the front. But Stefan just cannot. He looks fundamentally a little bit quicker, but just cannot make it stick. He's going past him again. But he's out of this corner. Meatball just seems to have a lot more traction and a lot more grip. And Stefan, in fact, has gone wide. Stefan makes a mistake and Adam Fleets goes up into second place. Will this give Meatball the chance to break away a little bit? Adam Fleets up into second place now in this race. And all four of them are going to come up on Davis to lap him, who's not going to know what's hit him here with all four of them just cruising up behind him. But it's Meatball now from Adam Fleets. As Stefan very wide there in the penultimate corner. Can Adam Fleets now challenge the race leader? And Zonic there saying he hit the curb in the penultimate corner and it spat him into the wall. Now, can Adam Fleets find a way past? Meatball, no DRS interestingly there for Adam. So choosing, it looks like, to stick behind him. Is he going to go for it here? He is. And this time he has got a run. And Adam Fleets goes into the lead. Adam Fleets takes the lead off the Austrian Grand Prix. He sat there the first 10 laps or so. Watched Stefan and Meatball fighting for position. And now he's taken his opportunity. Tommy Inferno has got back past D10. So D10 had lightning pace to come through the field. But that's dropped off a little bit. And you've got to say as well, these two, they're kind of matching the leader's pace now. And Davis getting right out of the way of the top four. So Adam Fleets leads across the line. Can he now try and make a break for it? It's all going to come down to strategy. And Davis has pitted and retired from this race. We've got two retirements. Zonic hit the wall. Davis has just retired in the pit lane. Can Meatball find a way past that Alfa Romeo? He's had a good run. Adam Fleets, will he go defensive? Oh, Meatball, not quite. I thought he might have a bit of a lunge, but wasn't quite close enough. So Meatball hangs on to the lead. And Mr. Blobby and Lewis fighting. Look at this. Lewis has got the inside line. And Lewis this time has made it stick. So Lewis up to 7th. And we've got another virtual safety car. That's CR Mac round. And he's lost his front wing. So CR Mac spins. And he's going to have to stop. We've got our second virtual safety car of the race. Will anyone take this opportunity to pit? The top four haven't. But those behind have. Don't forget, under virtual safety car, you lose about half the time that you would under full racing conditions. So D10 Lewis. Oh, D10 held. But D10 Tom Inferno, Lewis, Mr. Blobby, Ryan and Pyro all into the pits. Under virtual safety car. QRT's coming in as well. CR Mac will have to. He's got no front wing. And Lewis has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. And it looks like Adam Fleets has as well. I'm just going to try and have a look. Yes, Adam Fleets has also got a penalty. Speeding under the virtual safety car. Well, that turns this race and the championship, you have to say, on its head. And Goblin pits. He's the first of the top four to blink. And Adam Fleets with a poor run out of the last corner. Meatball deciding not to go for it. But if Goblin, he might just come out in front of D10. If he does, He can absolutely go for it. And he might just pop out ahead of the lot of them. And here goes Stefan as well. So let's just have a quick look back. Will Goblin make it out in front of D10? He just about does. So if he can now get some pace pretty quickly on those tyres, he might just see himself coming out in front of the three of them. And of course, for Meatball and Adam Fleets, they're going to be going to medium tyres for their second stint. They're not going to want to stop too early. Stefan might reply here and pit as well. And don't forget, Adam Fleets, with that drive-through penalty, effectively takes him out of the equation. But look at Meatball there. And Stefan is pitting. Stefan is responding. Adam Fleets is coming in to serve his drive-through penalty. Now, has Goblin done enough to get in front of Stefan? This is what we're going to find out here. We have seen those hard dives, difficult to warm up. He's going to be close. There is the Ferrari, and I think he's done it. Just about. Goblin has got past Stefan, and crucially, D10 has got past Stefan as well. So even if it's just for a couple of corners, that will hold Stefan up. So, well, you have to say then, will Goblin get track position on Meatball? But then, will Meatball, we've seen he looks like he's got pretty good straight line speed. Will he be able to come back at him? Adam Fleet's 15 seconds behind Meatball, but has just served his drive-through penalty. So he still has to pit again. Pyro and Lewis fighting as well over 9th place in this race. Meatball is carrying on. D10 sets fastest lap of the race. Don't forget as well, he pitted under the virtual safety car, so he is actually in this battle here. He has stopped. He's on the medium tyres. And he's just set fastest lap of the race. So suddenly, D10 and Tom Inferno, who's only 3 seconds down the road, has pulled themselves into play. I said that safety car, pitting under that virtual safety car, can really bring you back into things as Goblin gets past Adam Fleets. So I don't think Adam was fighting him too hard there. He knew that he's effectively a pit stop behind. So Meatball continues to lead and not pitting. He leads by 15 seconds from Goblin. So Goblin will get track position on Meatball when Meatball decides to pit. But look at how hard D10 is pushing him here. So close, and D10 having a look. Not quite close enough. And Stefan and Adam Fleets going with them at the moment. But Meatball now is going to come out a good few seconds behind. Will he have enough pace on a fresh set of mediums? To come back. We're just over half distance in this race. Lap 19 is flown past, isn't it? But this, at the moment, effectively is the battle for the lead. Goblin, D10, Stefan. Adam yet to stop for tyres. Meatball is in. The race leader is in the pits. So here comes Goblin now down the pit straight. And D10 not quite close enough. But Goblin, for the first time in this race, takes the lead. D10 is second. Stefan is third. Adam Fleets is fourth. Meatball comes out fifth, and D10 having a look. He's right coming up the inside. He left it a little bit late, but he's done it. He's going to make his stick. Who's going to get DRS down the next straight? It is D10. D10's going to have the inside line once again. Is he going to be close enough under braking? Oh, Goblin gave him room. And D10 is they're still wheel to wheel. Heading into the left-hander. Look at Stefan trying to get involved in there as well. But somehow Goblin's just hung on to the lead. This is fantastic racing between this top three at the moment. D10 pushing that Ferrari so hard. Meatball's got past Adam Fleets already. Adam's still yet to stop for tyres. But Goblin somehow still leads this race. But here comes D10 once again. He's had a better run. And D10 takes the lead, or does he? Goblin still refuses to give up the lead. What a fight this is. Look, they're wheel to wheel, the three of them. Wow, how did they not touch down that straight? D10 with the DRS. Up the inside still, Goblin refusing to give up the lead that easily. And he's still coming back at D10. Goblin just will not give up that lead, and he still somehow hangs on to it. Stefan trying to go up the inside of D10 as well. And he has. D10 has dropped a place, and here comes Meatball. Where's he suddenly appeared from? Meatball takes third. D10 down, Stefan's off the track, and he drops to behind the pair of them. What a couple of laps we're having here. Top Inferno now having a look at Stefan. Any one of the top five can still win this race. This is incredible stuff. But it's Goblin leading. And apparently D10's taking out Stefan's end bench, and Stefan's going to have to stop. But well, I mean, when you were racing that close, it was inevitable there was going to be a bit of contact. How they didn't all crash into each other down the backs. Down the straight up to turn 3, I have no idea. They were that close. But now, this is the fight for the lead and the championship lead as well. As Goblin tries to defend, but Meatball with the DRS, he's got the better tyres, and Meatball goes back into the lead of the race. Oh, and Goblin had a bit of a look, but not quite close enough. Well, we asked would he have enough pace to come back at Goblin. I think Goblin was certainly hindered with all that battling with D10. But Meatball back into the lead of this race as Pyro gets past Ryan as well. I'm sorry I've been concentrating on these top 3 or 4, but what a race that these guys are having up at the front. Meatball in the lead of the race. Adam Fleets, by the way, still has not stopped. There he is in 5th position. So going to go long and going to try to a set of soft tyres maybe. That drive-through penalty after the virtual safety car really did ruin his race. But it is what a fight we saw up the front. And here's another battle going on. This is for 7th place. Pyro with the Alpine of Ryan for company. Stefan is 5.5 seconds behind this battle on a brand new set of soft tyres. So he should be very quick indeed. And Ryan, with the DRS, made that look quite easy in the end and takes 7th away from the AlphaTauri. So can Meatball now push and break the DRS to his teammate? He already has. Goblin nearly 2 seconds clear of D10. I don't know if D10 has got any damage from that contact with Stefan. We know Stefan did and has pitted as a result. But he is dropping back from the top 2. Tom Inferno 2 seconds behind that in 4th place as Adam Fleets does now pit. So will he go for a set of soft tyres? I suspect he knows. A set of mediums going on. So, well, he's going to come out just in front of Stefan, I think. Stefan sets fastest lap of the race by a country mile on 1 minute 5.3 on those soft tyres. And yes, Adam Fleets does come out in 8th place. Just behind this battle that's still raging on, but now for 6th between Ryan and Pyro. And well, it's all calmed down at the front, hasn't it? after those incredible racing laps we saw. We're on lap 24 of this race. Siarmak into the pits once again. Another set of soft tyres going on. He is running in 13th position. I don't know what's happened to Lewis in this race. Since that early stop, just hasn't had any pace. Running down at the back as Tom Inferno, a D10 in the pits. So maybe he does have some damage. We'll soon find out. And no, just a new set of tyres going on. So curious strategy there for D10. No front wing change. He comes out in 5th, just in front of Ryan. So Meatball now leads. There is your race leader by 2.5 seconds from Goblin. Tom Inferno running 3rd at the moment. 4.5 seconds behind that. Mr. Blobby, well, he's had a quiet race, hasn't he? He also pitted under the virtual safety car. He's up into 4th place now in the Aston Martin. Stefan gets past Pyro. And Adam Fleets gets past Ryan just in front of that. So they're starting, Stefan really making good use of those soft tyres he's now on. But Mr. Blobby really has been very quietly getting on with it. And he's just off the podium at the moment in 4th place. Of course, don't forget we have got penalties to add on yet at the end of this race, which could change positions. But Meatball just extending that lead now comfortably. 3.5 seconds clear of his teammate. And Goblin looks quite happy there in 2nd. 4.5 ahead of Tom Inferno. And Stefan's got past Ryan. So Stefan absolutely flying now on those soft tyres. And he may still fancy his chances, maybe even a 4th place. He's only about 7 seconds behind Mr. Blobby in the Aston Martin. So it's still possible, perhaps, in the last few laps. Right, now it's all quietened down a little bit out there on the track. I'm going to open it up to you guys listening on the Twitch stream. Get your votes in for driver of the day. Type the name of the driver who you think deserves driver of the day into the chat. I will tally them up and give you the result at the end of the race. And Pyro and Ryan still fighting. This is for 8th place. And Pyro pits. Pyro's in the pits. Is he just going for fastest lap here? And serving... No, he wasn't serving a penalty. Just a bit of a glitch. So, new set of soft tyres. He has just dropped out of the points with that. But I don't think it will be long before he is back into the points. We've seen how quick those soft tyres are on Stefan. So here is Stefan now up behind Adam Fleets. And also the other close battle, here it is. D10 on a brand new set of medium tyres. Already looking up the inside of Mr. Blobby, who saw him coming. And D10 up into 4th. Meatball, by the way, now 5.5 seconds clear of his teammate, just relentlessly pulling away. And, well, I said it wouldn't take Pyro long. He's already back past QRT, back into the last points paying position. And we are seeing Lewis has retired from the race now as well. Ryan's into the pits. He's put on a brand new set of mediums. And he's going to come out just outside the points. Can he catch QRT and take that last point off him? Stefan now, still with Adam Fleet. He's still not been able to find a way past. And they are both closing on Mr. Blobby, who's 3 seconds up the road. And I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but it could be one of Mr. Blobby's strongest results in this league. But he too's pitting. I'm very surprised to see drivers making extra stops here in this race. I really thought they'd all just go for a one stop. But here is Mr. Blobby into the pits. And it's a set of soft tyres for him. He drops behind Adam Fleets and Stefan, but he should just come out still in 7th place. So is he going to try and go now for the fastest lap and the extra point that goes with that? Stefan there lost a lot of ground out of turn 3. I don't know if he made a mistake, but he certainly lost a lot of ground there to Adam Fleets. The Meatball now consolidating his lead. There is your race leader. Not pulling away anymore from his teammate, but 6.5 seconds clear. And Goblin on his own, really, 6.5 seconds clear of Tom Inferno, who's nearly 7 seconds clear of D10. So they are all stretched out. We saw the top 5 at times fighting early on in the race. It's quieting down now toward the end. Don't forget, get your votes in for driver of the day. Just type the name of the driver who you think deserves it into the chat, and we'll tally them up as we go along. So there is your race leader, and Ryan has got past QRT to take that last point. There's a yellow flag. Is that CR? No, it's Sniper round. And Sniper's lost his front wing. That's twice he's done that in this race. But he's still running, and another virtual safety car. Will anyone else decide to make a late pit stop and put on a set of soft tyres? Yes, the race leader is. I'm amazed at that. Yes, Goblin is staying out. I'm amazed the Meatballs decided to pit. He's going to lose track position. And with only a few, he's going to have to really go for it now to get that back. So we got one vote in for driver of the day. Keep them coming. Pyro's hit Jansen and has got a penalty as a result. Stefan is back in the pits as well. Still under virtual safety car. Another set of soft tyres. Tom Inferno gets a drive-through penalty. That is going to cost him dear. He was looking at a podium on his comeback, but that is going to cost him hugely. And, Pyro and Jansen getting penalties galore here. They are fighting. Look at this. Oh, that was cheeky. And they're out of the race. They're both out. Pyro and Jansen both out of the race. And wow. We have a safety car right at the end. No, Goblin's gone past the pits. Wow. Wow. Well, contact on the way up to turn 3 between Pyro and Jansen. They're both out of the race. I'm sure they'll both have a lot to say about it. But we're under a safety car. Now, Goblin has not been picked up by the safety car. He may be able to come in. You would think he will. Tom Inferno's the one that's going to lose out the most here, because he's going to have to do his drive-through penalty after the safety car comes in, by which point the majority of the field would have caught up. I think the 2 Red Bulls are a lap down. But what is the race leader going to do? Is he going to pit? He is pitting. He is pitting. So he is going to lose track position to Meatball. Well, that could have gone wrong. But in terms of track position there for Meatball, but he does retake the lead. Tom Inferno has stayed out, but he does have that drive-through penalty hanging over his head, doesn't he? So he's second at the moment. He's going to be D10 takes third. So it's not worked out at all for Goblin there. He might be able to fight his way back past with those fresh tyres. But let's have a look. What is going to happen now? We've got 11 left in this race. The race order on lap 33 under the safety car. Meatball from Tom Inferno with D10 in third position. Goblin is fourth. Fleet is fifth now. Mr. Blobby is sixth in the Aston Martin. Stefan here, with all the penalties of those in front of him, and he doesn't have any himself, could actually still take a podium here this evening, which would be incredible when you think he had to pit earlier on, lost a lot of time. Ryan is 8th, QRT is 9th, and the last point is CR Matt in the Red Bull. He's just in front of his teammate, and I believe they are both a lap down. I think they're the only two cars that have been lapped. Yes, you can see them there in the background. Yes, QRT is not lapped. He's the last car to catch up to the back of the pack. So, QRT should catch them at the end of this lap. We're going to have 2 racing laps. Don't forget, driver of the day. Before we get underway, we've got 3 votes in so far. Keep them coming. Oh, was that contact there with Tom Inferno? I think he just clicked the back of Meatball. But we're going to have 2 laps, no DRS, just pure racing. And, well, this could be a recipe for disaster in these last few laps. Don't forget, Tom Inferno has got to serve his penalty, his drive-through penalty, on this lap or the next. So you can effectively take him out of the equation. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. So Meatball now dictates the pace. Tom Inferno trying to go around the outside of him there for some... Oh, that was naughty, Tom. That was a little bit naughty there, Tom Inferno. He did rather swipe across there. No need for that. But anyway, I'm not a steward, but I'm sure they'll want to look at that. And look at that, Meatball's gone already. He's caught them all napping. Will Tom Inferno come in on this lap? Well, yes, he is. He's coming in on this lap to serve his drive-through. So Meatball leads by a comfortable margin. D10 is up to second. And Tom Inferno is going to drop all the way back to 9th. But can Goblin find a way past D10 in these last couple of laps? He's having a look up the inside. He's got the better tyres. No DRS, don't forget, in these last couple of laps. And Goblin is through. Goblin is through. Can D10 hang on to the podium? Adam Fleets is 4th. Look at Stefan as well, right up behind Mr. Blobby. With all these penalties, who knows what the final order is going to be, apart from the top 2. And Meatball, well, caught them all napping and then was helped by Tom Inferno coming in for his drive-through. D10 and Adam Fleets fighting hard for 3rd position on the road at the moment. We're about to enter the final lap. Meatball sets fastest lap of the race, and look at Adam Fleet. Is he going to be close up down the pit straight? Not quite. D10, oh, D10 a little bit wide. And now Red Bull is a lap down. Don't worry about that too much. Oh, Stefan gets a penalty. That could cost him a podium here this evening. As they head up towards turn 3, they're weaving about the track. D10 desperately trying to hang on to the last podium position. Adam Fleet with a good run though. He's had a very good run indeed out of the last corner. Turn 3. We're on the final lap. Will he have a dive? He's offering up the inside. D10 saw him coming. And not quite close. It's a good run though. D10 with the slide. Oh, there's contact. They're out of the race. D10's out of the race. Right at the end, there was contact, and Adam Fleet has got damage. D10 is out, but up at the front, away from it all. Meatball crosses the line to win the Austrian Grand Prix. Goblin takes second place. And now, who knows? If Stefan takes the final podium spot, Adam Fleet with no front wing takes 4th. Mr. Blobby 5th. Ryan takes 6th. QRT takes 7th. Tom Inferno is going to cross the line in 8th. Sniper, by the way, just took the last point from his teammate. So QRT takes 7th. Tom Inferno 8th. 9th for D10 after all that. Wow. That was insane. So, well, I said it could happen, didn't I? Those last few laps. With no DRS and everyone just go for it. Adam Fleets and D10 making contact. Right at the end. But somehow, with all the penalties everyone else had, Adam Fleet still comes home 4th. Which, in the end, is not a bad result. Look at that. I mean, that was incredible. But, well, we know Meatball doesn't have a mic. So let's see if Goblin and Stefan can come and join us. But Meatball wins with the fastest lap as well. Goblin, a good race in the end from 6th up to 2nd. Stefan, well, he had that contact with D10, which really took him out of the running for the race victory, but, well, kept us out of trouble and took 3rd in the end. Adam Fleets with no front wing takes 4th. Mr. Blobby, one of his best results in this league as well, he takes 5th. Ryan 6th. QRT 7th. Tom Inferno 8th. D10 retired on the last lap, he takes 9th. And Sniper took the last point in the end from his teammate to finish in 10th. Wow. Okay, right, we have been joined by 2 of the top 3. Guys, please make sure your audio is included, please, to make sure that everyone can hear you on the stream. Goblin, we'll start with you. Well, frantic last couple of laps behind you. Probably didn't see a lot of it. But anyway, 2nd place, you qualified 6th. Overall, not a bad result. How are you feeling after that race?
Yeah, it was an okay race. Had decent pace with the top 4. It was a really good battle with Stefan, Adam Fleets, and Meatball at the start of that race in the first stint. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I went for an undercut and tried to go early on the hards, but it only hurt me when Meatball came behind me on fresh mediums. But yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, not a bad result in overall. I mean, you had, and also as well, not only you had that top 4, you had that big fight with D10 as well when he stopped under the virtual safety car. That probably did cost you quite a lot of time in the end. Potentially could have cost you the race, certainly the gap to Meatball.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't realise I was actually racing him for position. I didn't realise he'd pitted under the VSC. I unfortunately just passed the pit entry when it came out, so I was a little bit frustrated with that. Yeah, it was only after a few laps of battling that I actually realised. I was like, oh, whoops. But yeah, that was also a good battle. He had some decent pace and had me scared a bit.
Yeah, definitely. And just before the final safety car, did you think you might have it in the bag when your teammate pitted under the virtual and you stayed out? Do you think if we didn't have that safety car at the end, you might have been able to stay in front?
It would have been a very big ask. I was on very worn out hards against fresh softs, only being 5 seconds behind, and it's Meatball, so that would have been a big ask to try and hold him off. It was the last safety car that really hurt when D10 didn't pit. I might have had a chance to actually get him then, but yeah, I just had to focus on P2 and making sure I secured that.
Okay, well done anyway on a good race for you. And Stefan,
Thank you, mate.
somehow, Stefan, you're on the podium. As Dan was saying, you had good race pace at the start, and you certainly look like you could keep up with the other three at the start of the race. But how frustrated were you getting? In the beginning of the race, just couldn't get past Meatball at the early stages of the race.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning I didn't really have the pace to keep in front of Pete Burrell, but it was okay. I could stay the DRS with them in the top four. It was a nice battle, but after I think the first safety car, I got damage on my wing because D10 brake checked me a little bit, so I had to box. So at the end, I didn't really expect a podium, but somehow I managed to still make it. So not a bad race after all.
And I mean, you had some incredible pace up there. I mean, do you reckon without that damage, you could have maybe contended with Meatball and Goblin for the race victory? Do you think you had the ultimate pace here this evening?
I think they were a little too fast for that for me, but yeah, maybe we'll never know now. But yeah, P3, I think it was the maximum result for me personally.
Excellent. Well done on the podium and well done on the pair of you, and I hope to see you both next week.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. So thank you to everyone who has joined. I hope you've all enjoyed the graphics on the screen. Thank you for the drivers who have joined me here this evening. Please do join us again next week. We're on round 10 of 15 of the championship. We're at the 2/3 distance next weekend, and it is a sprint race weekend. It's the Italian Grand Prix at the Temple of Speed that is Monza. Thank you to everyone who's joined. Until next week, good night.